All right, our top story now. The judge in the trial of Pastor Timothy Omotoso will give her judgment tomorrow on the defence's application for more particulars. Defense lawyer Peter Dauberman told newly appointed Judge Irma Schoeman that the charge sheet was riddled with inaccuracies. He filed an application regarding this in the previous trial and was furnished with details, but said those too were insufficient. For all the latest now on this, let's cross to our reporter Jayed-Leigh Paulse. She was in court in Port Elizabeth for us. Jade, a very good evening to you. Thanks for your time. Well, the matter, of course, sat months ago, and again another delay with the defense arguing that the charge sheet is too vague.
Well, that's correct, Griselda. I think that once everyone knew that the case would start in Nova, we thought that we'd actually get to the crux of the matter and that witnesses will be called. But over the past 2 days, there's been several delays. The first day we saw the defense lawyer, Peter Dauberman, bringing that urgent application for the state to compel further particulars on the indictment, on the charge sheet as well, saying that it was very, very vague. There weren't times, there weren't places, there weren't dates that actually pinpointed Omotoso to allegedly have committed the crimes. And he was saying that it was very difficult for the defense to also try and get an alibi for their client without these particulars. So it has been back and forth within court. We also saw the state prosecutor, Neba vehemently saying that, he has provided the defense with all the particulars over the past year. Every time they had wanted something new to be added, he has been furnishing them with that, and he could not understand why it was that they were bringing this application, merely saying that this was a delay tactic on the defense's side.
So a ruling on this particular aspect expected tomorrow?
That is correct. We expect Judge Irma Schoeman to grant her ruling tomorrow at 2 o'clock, whether they will be allowing the defense to actually get, or rather to be furnished by the state with those particulars. But it's going to be very interesting to see whether that will be granted. I suppose it's also very important for the defense's case, as they want to pinpoint the exact location, the time and places. And you would know that there are 48 witnesses who are yet to take to the stand. So the defense really saying there that it was really a wishy-washy charge sheet. They can't see the prospects of this not being in their favor, and they want Judge Irma Schoeman to really apply her mind and grant this for them. They're also saying that they want the state to go back to the drawing board and look at their charge sheet and actually see if some of the allegations that are coming from witnesses are in fact truthful and factual. And we saw that defense Dauberman saying also in court this morning that he could not understand why the state actually did not investigate this, did not go to the various places that were mentioned in the charge sheet and actually see if, this would jog the memory, because the problem that stems from the charge sheet is that some of the witnesses themselves can't remember when the alleged sexual assault occurred. There were time frames between 2001 to 2010, and they were saying that this was very unfair and was prejudice towards Omotoso, and that they should really go back to the drawing board. So tomorrow we expect Judge Irma Schoeman to give her ruling on the matter. Griselda.
I also see with the visuals that we have on our screen there, Jade, no shortage of an audience outside that court too, including political parties. Talk to us a bit about what's some of the sentiment being shared on the ground there.
Well, Griselda, Timothy Omotoso has been incarcerated for 3 years now, and from the magistrates' court all the way to the High Court, we've seen his following, the Jesus Dominion International Church members, really rallying behind the pastor. They've come out in their numbers several times outside court, hoisting placards, calling for Timothy Omotoso to receive bail, saying that he could not have committed these crimes, that he's a man of God, and that they believe in his innocence and he just did not commit this. Also, some of the placards saying that all the girls that have come forward are lying. So we've seen them really throwing their support behind Timothy Omotoso. But equally, we've also seen civil society as well as various political parties, the DA, the ANC, also outside court, supporting the witnesses, supporting Cheryl Zondi, that first witness, and saying that they cannot simply have this man in society and he should remain behind bars. So today, a similar situation. We saw the JDI members and we saw political parties parties and civil society members rallying behind their respective parties. But also, I must make mention of the fact that the police have also been in their numbers, a large contingency of police, making sure that both factions do not clash, because we have seen them clashing over the past 2 years while the trial has been ongoing.
All right, and I'm sure we'll expect no different outside that Port Elizabeth court tomorrow. That's our reporter, Jayed-Leigh Paulse, of course, monitoring the Omotoso trial for us in that part of the province.